That's not how that goes.
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Happy Christmas, Merry Hanukkah, all these things we can now start listening to music of. These we can now say.
Yes.
Up until this point, it was Thanksgiving. You were supposed to do Thanksgiving things. It is now the season that you can go shopping and do all the ridiculousness that comes with Kwanzaa. I don't even know if you buy things for Kwanzaa, I'll be honest. But if you do, the Kwanzaa music can now come out because it is the season for that. In the meantime, we are going to continue digesting from our large meals that we had this Thanksgiving. I do have a guest in studio, but before I run into that, I just want to remind everyone that the next hour is going to be replaced with an ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating moron ranting about opinions that I have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. Our goal here at Another Wasted Hour is to convince you that where we hail from, just outside Washington, D.C., is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one brimming with art, music, and cultures. Like bacteria, different types of cultures. So listeners, now that you know why you're here, I'm Keith, and joining us in studio live to take the place of the once alive, I assume is probably dead now, Victor. My co-host for a day, or my guest, depending on how you'd like to see it. I have Shaggy Krupczynski. Did I say that right?
Krupczynski.
I realize I've never said your last name.
A lot of people don't, because that's why I go by Shaggy a lot, because it's easy to remember, and that way people don't have to say my last name.
Yeah, that makes it so much easier. I mean, it was Shaggy. So
that works.
William, Will, Bill, all of them together.
Yes.
You are the CEO and lead producer and all of the other titles that you can give yourself because you own a production company. Pure Shift Productions is the one you own, right?
Correct. Yes, indeed.
And lately you've been doing a lot of voiceover work in sound design. Is that true?
Yes. I build things. I make noise. I do things with those noises. Sometimes I sell them.
Do you do things with the noises that make more noises?
Yes, actually I do.
I assault this noise with these other noises.
Actually, I do have a boss.
What?
My wife is my boss. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that means that you're smart. That's what that means. So did you celebrate Thanksgiving, or is that not part of your particular religion?
Yes, we actually drove out to the middle of the Midwest. I guess that's why it's the Midwest.
The middle part of the Midwest?
And we spent a few days with my in-laws, which was fun.
All right. Very nice. I never understood the Midwest because you're saying two things, right?
Yes. It's like, is it
the middle? It's the middle, right? You just went to the middle.
It's like, I don't even know what even constitutes the Midwest, because
some west of the Mideast.
Yeah, it's like I'm from Ohio originally, and some people include that, even though it's not really. I don't even know where it begins and where it ends. So.
Yeah, and there's no Mideast, there's no middle, right?
No.
I mean, you kind of have the Great Plains, but they don't call it like the middle of the country.
I guess if you're not from a coast, then you're from the Midwest.
Right, which seems awfully like leaning towards the West, right? If everything that's like west of Pennsylvania is
because everyone wants to be from California.
Yeah, that's true. Because we just wanted to not ever rain.
Yes, and be warm and have sun. Or if you're going to Seattle, which is also out there, you
See,
can have rain.
The thing is I got to contradict you because I love snow. We're going to get snow, I hope, sometime soon. And that I live for. I love it. So I grew up in Hawaii. We didn't have snow as kids. So now I'm like all in on snow, although I'm completely the opposite when it comes to cold. Like, as far as I'm concerned, cold should only exist to make snow.
I don't mind as long as it's like not too far below freezing. Once it gets down to like in the teens.
Oh, yeah.
Then,
No, yeah. If it hurts to walk outside, just F that. I'm just quitting my job.
If it's like, if your hair starts to freeze and things like that.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the worst.
Yeah.
If your eyelashes freeze.
Or your beard,
Yeah, I'm a beard. I got my beard. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'd be perfectly happy if it was like 60 degrees, snow, 60 degrees.
As long as we don't get another snowmageddon, I don't enjoy the 2 feet at once.
Really? Oh, see, I think that's fun.
Yeah, but I don't enjoy digging myself out.
You don't. You just let it melt, and you just tell people that you're you're really, really sick and not
But
to
then
come
you
see
run
me.
out of food, and you have to like figure out a way to eat.
Then you diet.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's
That's how
true.
you lose weight is by being shut into your house.
Yeah, last year my neighbor, like, she walked outside with a shovel,
Yeah.
looked at the snow, and literally like walked right back in her house. Heard nothing from her for like 2 days, and she eventually hired somebody, and they came out. She said no.
I bought a new shovel. Like, granted, it was a little late because I got it
Yeah.
after Snowmageddon because I was like, F this, right? If this happens again, I
Yeah,
need
we
to be
broke
ready.
ours during the last our last snow shovel, so we had to buy new ones too.
During the you stopped and said the last Snowmageddon, and then corrected yourself and said last snow shovel. You were on the right track.
Something like that.
Just trust yourself, man. You don't have to correct it. You were good.
It's
Yeah,
all Snowmageddon.
I did get to use the new shovel. Like, there was a storm after that was like 3 inches or something, and I used it then. It was fantastic. So it's super cool. Like, a lot of other people bought snow blowers and stuff, and I was like, F that noise, because I'm only going to use it once every 3 years.
Right.
Because we're in DC. For those who don't know, we're outside the DC area. We get like 3 feet of snow like every 5 years, and then and we get a really good like winter every 2 or 3 years.
Which, even if we get a half an inch of snow, it scares the crap out of people here.
Oh yeah, if we get any snow, people just veer into ditches.
Close all the schools.
Yeah, it goes crazy because nobody knows what to do about it. But so it's not even worth having a snowblower because
No.
for half of the years, if not more, we get less snow than you can actually like blow. There's no, it like wouldn't scoop it up and blow it anywhere because
Right.
it's too small.
It's like, me, with my 10 feet of grass, buying a riding lawnmower. What am
Yeah.
I going to do? Just get one of those ones where, you could turn on a dime and just spin in circles.
Yeah, exactly. So what we got instead is it's a big snow shovel and it's got a big long handle. I know this sounds bad. I know if you're thinking about physics right now, you're thinking that was a really dumb purchase. But in the middle of the handle, there's a gigantic wheel.
Oh, that's cool. I've never
Yeah.
seen one of those.
So it's like a wheel that's like literally like probably 3.5 to 4 feet like in diameter, like a wagon wheel.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. And so what you do is you go
Like a seesaw.
Yeah, you push your and it's a bigger shovel than normal. You push your shovel under the snow, then you just push down. It leverages the
Nice.
snow up. You go wheel it wherever you want, and then you do like a little pushy jerk motion, and it launches the snow off the
Well,
shovel.
now I need to put a motor on it. That would make it even better.
But then
Put a motor on the wheel. There you go.
Right. Then it's a snow blower. I said we're not doing snow blowers.
Our new shovel though is really cool because
This is great radio, just for the record.
instead of like a straight like bar, it's bent.
Yeah. Oh, I've
so
seen this.
that way, you're not killing your back, while you're trying to, lift, 50 pounds of ice.
I like to think people are gonna be like, "Oh, what did you do this morning?" Oh, on the way in, I listened to a podcast all about snow shovels.
Yes.
That was very exciting. No, those are good too.
Yeah.
Although those freak me out because it looks like somebody broke a normal shovel and then tried to sell it to you. Like, oh, this one, hey, it's a special shovel.
No, the worst thing I've ever used as a snow shovel is a dust bin. Because I got snowed in.
Oh
when I
my
lived-
God.
Yes, when I lived in Maryland years ago during the first Snowmageddon we had here.
Yeah.
in like around 2003.
Yeah, 2003. I think it was.
I lived in an apartment, had no snow shovel, and literally the snowplow came through our parking lot, and I was parked in the corner of the parking lot.
Yeah.
and he buried me.
Just buried
He completely
the car.
buried me, and so I was out there with a dustpan and a bucket, trying to dig myself out.
That's amazing. All right. So once again, for all of you who are just tuning into a podcast, because that's a thing people do, we have Pure Shift Productions in studio here. William, otherwise known as Will, as Bill, as Shaggy, all the other
That
people,
guy.
is here with us. He does voiceover and sound design, as you can tell. Do your voiceover voice.
This is my voiceover. It's one of them. I mean,
Do you have a different one?
you get some people who want, the Billy Banks or whatever the hell that dude's name was, thank you for joining us today at blah, 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 blah. You have to do those sometimes.
Can you do the In a world one.
world. I mean, that's, yeah.
In a world
Yeah, it's in a world.
where there are no people.
In a world where Keith has no beard.
Where I have no beard. It's made entirely of Play-Doh.
I don't think I've ever seen you without a beard.
No, I haven't had one, and we'll keep it that way because it's just not nice to people. I am an ugly man, so that's why we do radio.
And that's why I do voiceover.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing kind of the things that that Shaggy's up to, go to www.pureshift.com and you can check out some of the things he's done there. We're going to talk about some of your latest projects here coming up in just a little bit. But before we do that, I'd like to get your opinion on the news in our segment called The Weather Report. So here's what we're going to do. I know that you already have a production company, but for a brief while, we're also going to put you in charge of a publishing company.
That's scary.
Yeah. You are going to be the editor-in-chief of your very own magazine, newspaper, pamphlet. Maybe it's just a single card that has news on it. I'm going to pitch you some news I found around the internet as your very loyal and underpaid reporter. And you're going to let me know.
I have to pay you?
Well, that's why I'm underpaid. You're going to let me know whether or not it should be news and if it's making it into your publication. At the end, I'm going to ask you the name of this publication. So keep that in mind. All right. All right. Starting off, without further ado, very important news. Let's see. High school students at Sacred Heart College in Geelong conducted the research with the guidance of a school head of science, Adam Cole. They determined that property prices on streets with silly names are approximately 20% lower than properties on normal named roads.
Why?
Yeah. So if you want to get a real deal on a house, you should consider that the students identified 27 streets in Victoria with silly names, including Butt Street, Wank Road, and Fanny Street.
Oh, I would totally live on Butt Street.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are looking for a house right now, may I suggest just looking up Floppy Donkey Dick Way and seeing what kind of deals you can get. Because
in Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Right, exactly. I wonder if it's even worse if it's in like a horrible, right? It's like, it's like Schlong Road in Blue Balls, Connecticut. And you're like, yeah, all the houses here are $1.
That's awesome. Imagine when people ask for can I send a Christmas card to you this year? Well, here's my address.
I mean, the key would be to go all these places, right? Buy up all the houses at a 20% discount and then lobby the city to change the name of the road, right? And just profit.
I would just keep the road name. Have my own island, so to speak.
Or find a house you really like and then petition the town to change the name of that road, to Dick Suck Drive, and then roll in there when the prices drop and get your house.
And when the balls drop.
Yeah. Ball Drop Boulevard. So it's a great way to make a profit, but is it news?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, this is going in the publication.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. Excellent. So we're 1 for 1, Shaggy. This is really exciting. All right. Next up. Ex-Russian minister says he thought bag with $2 million in cash was a gift of alcohol. Yeah, I know that might be hard to fathom how.
Maybe he already drank the alcohol. Or maybe he drank too much.
So former Russian economy minister Alexei Yursakayev, I assume, I'm just going to say that that's right.
You're Russian.
Yeah, no. Accused of extorting a bribe, was accused of extorting a bribe. Police detained him inside the Rosneft headquarters. Shortly after, Sechin handed him cash inside a lockable brown bag and a quote-unquote little basket with a sausage, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if you named a street after that, would be 20% cheaper. As a gift.
Sausage.
Yes. That's what prosecutors said. He was confused. Apparently, he confused the satchel of 200 bundles of cash with a sack of clinking booze bottles and said, "Oh, thanks for that. I am not accepting cash. I just am thirsty." He was also fired that day after he was caught with the money by Putin himself, who I assume was just pissed that the bag wasn't actually full of vodka. But yeah, so
he was an idiot.
$2 million versus alcohol, no idea. I assume the weight would have to be different.
Oh yeah. Well, money can weigh a lot. I mean, but I don't think as much as booze.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyhow, we are slowly getting rid of the Russian government one by one. But is it news?
No, it's
Not
stupid.
News. Okay,
It's stupid. He's stupid.
Everything's stupid. This is dumb. That's not the name of our publication.
This is crap.
It's not stupid news. All right, next. This one I'm really quite proud of. So California church is pressured to stop serving meals to the homeless because it lures in the needy. Yes, a United Methodist Church has been offering free meals twice a week to homeless, but is going to be stopping after Thanksgiving because the city officials said that they were luring too many homeless people into the neighborhood. This is unfortunately, I believe it was in, let me look it up again. It's in California, which I was a little surprised by. It's in Malibu, of course. So the Malibuians do not want all these homeless people around. We have homes. Why should we have them around? But yeah, so they city officials made the decision after speaking with organizers, suggesting they were attracting more homeless people into the city. And so basically stop feeding the strays is what they've said.
Well, it's like if you give money to the people collecting to the poor,
yeah,
then the poor people wouldn't be poor anymore. And then you would be putting those people who collect the money out of a job.
Right.
And you don't want to do that because
we're making jobs.
Yeah, you don't make jobs, not take them away.
Right,
so.
exactly.
So that's why you don't give to the poor.
It is an interesting cause and effect, and it's interesting that people didn't see this has been happening for like 2 or 3 years, and they just now have realized, wait a minute, homeless people come and get these free meals. I assume they just thought originally that it was just people from Malibu going like, I am peckish and I am near
I'm hungry.
Right. I'm near this church and I don't like having to spend all this money I've made.
I can't afford my kale smoothie.
So
I'll go eat this crap.
Right. So is it news?
Nah.
No.
No.
Is it also crap?
It's crap. It's crap.
All right, more crap. This one I have to say is not crap. I'm going to be disappointed with you because I think I may know you and I well enough to know that this is news. Apparently, fast food sauce holders are finally available for your vehicle.
Fast food sauce holders.
Yes. It's basically there's a thing now called
you can dip your
it's a dip clip.
Nuggets.
It's a holder that perfectly fits those sauce containers and then easily affixed to your air conditioning vent in most vehicles. It is a universal product to hold sauce containers. The holder fits sauces from McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, and Chick-fil-A. I assume others, but definitely those.
So you're going to put the sauce in front of the vent that blows out air.
Yeah.
So your entire car, it's like you might as well just put an air freshener in your car. Or you don't have to do what I guess. I guess you could use it as an air freshener.
That's true. It's a dual purpose.
Yeah, it's dual purpose. So
I mean, the air freshener, I get what you're saying. Everything smells like barbecue sauce. That's really nice. But you're not eating at that moment. Now you get to eat too.
You might like the smell of barbecue sauce. It depends on the barbecue sauce.
How about Chick-fil-A sauce?
I like the honey mustard. I'm a honey mustard dude.
All right,
so.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I think this is brilliant because where do you usually put sauce when you're eating things?
If I'm in the car and I'm driving and I have nuggets, I usually don't get sauce because I don't want to make a mess in my car.
See,
so
now you can get them.
This could fix that. That's actually a pretty cool idea.
Yeah,
I could be down with that.
Because usually, like, you put it like in the ashtray, or you put it like in, or you're holding it while you're driving, and then you have to turn and all. And
then you sneeze and it goes all over the place, and you got to pay a big bill. And
so I don't know if you agree with me. Here's your chance. Is it news?
This. It's not crap. It's okay. But it's not crap.
Would it make it into your publication?
Yes, it would make it in my publication.
Maybe like in the later pages.
Maybe in like the personals.
In the personals?
Yeah, sure,
Are you
why-
looking for somebody
why not?
else? Is that because you eat chicken nuggets in the car?
I need to find a friend, that likes to eat nuggets in the car.
You're single, and we
Yes.
probably know why. This will help. You have sauce all over your car. All right, so I'm going to finish out this particular segment in what I like to call the All China Report.
All China.
Yes. I have 3 Chinese stories for you. First, a Chinese grandfather loses 2 fingers while trying to feed a tiger with paper money. Yeah, his middle finger has been entirely bitten off. He lost half of his ring finger. Bai's granddaughter told the Beijing Youth Daily she said there was no warning tape set up around the site. Other relatives of Bai said that he had been drinking alcohol before he went into the circus. I would argue that there was a warning. It's called a tiger.
It's called Big Teeth, and you wouldn't want to stick your hand in there.
I don't know what point you were like, I've got this money.
Here, have
Hey.
this. This looks tasty.
A, I'm going to put my hand near this tiger because that's probably safe. And B, this tiger probably wants to eat money. Like, there's 2 levels.
Who does that?
There's not a lot of thought that went into this.
No.
It was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
You might as well just shoved his hand in there.
Hold on. Is that a snack machine? Like,
Is that
no.
alcohol? Is this how I get booze?
No, that is not a snack machine. It looks like a snack machine. That looks like I can get some Frosted Flakes. And it's like, nope, that's a different tiger. I'm going to put $1 in it.
Idiots.
So the question is it news?
Nah, that's crap.
That's crap.
That's crap.
You have a very thin publication here so far.
Yeah, it's
But
you write
you're-
it on toilet paper.
You're very specific about what you allow in.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
like the high bar that you have for news. It's very important.
Yes, I'm a highbrow guy.
Yeah, it's sauce container holders, but not
And
guy loses
crappy
his
street
fingers.
names.
Yeah. All right. This is kind of interesting. So Chinese urged to advance the toilet revolution steadily and will do away with squalid communal facilities as a national imperative. So while the United Nations declared November 19th World Toilet Day, I don't know if you knew about that.
No, I did not know
That's
that.
news on its own.
World
right?
Crapper Day.
Yes. Chinese authorities have taken that one step further, branding the event World Toilet Day and China Toilet Revolution Awareness Day.
Nice. Well, yeah.
Yes. So I don't know if you've been to China. Have you?
No,
gone to
but
China?
I've been to Japan, which is much better than China. But different side of Asia. But they did have squatty potties like they do in China.
Yes.
And I attempted.
Like literally.
I attempted.
Yeah?
And I failed.
You failed.
I absolutely failed.
Did you fall into the squatty
No,
potty?
So for the most part in Japan,
Yeah.
they have Western toilets with a lot of buttons on them.
Yeah.
And 'cause
Robot toilets.
You don't press the buttons because you don't know what they're going to do. The water and things might be coming, and you just don't even know.
It could be a pube trimmer. You
Oh
don't
yeah,
know.
you have no idea. You don't touch the magic buttons unless you know what the hell you're doing.
It's a waxing that happens.
So we were coming out of a subway.
Yeah.
And it was time to do something.
Sure.
And it was more than just walk up to a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife's like, here's a bathroom. I was like, oh God. Go in there. I look, there's nothing but squatty potties. They're not very clean.
Yeah.
It looked like maybe some homeless people were hanging out there.
They probably had free meals.
Oh yeah, probably some free meals. And no, thank God I didn't eat there. But I tried. It's just you have to have different muscle, like built up muscle in places that you normally don't use to use those sort of things, and because you've literally got to hover and hope that your aim is good.
Yeah, ladies hover. A lot of ladies hover, from my understanding. So they probably can take to this like a duck to water, but the guys not so much.
But I walked out with a sad face, and we hoped for the best, that we could find something that was normal, at least for me.
So you held it. It didn't just end up everywhere.
Oh, another thing in Japan is that all of their Western toilets, the seats are warm. They have they have heaters in the seats.
Oh.
And it's like every time I went to sit down, it's like What do you think in America when you sit down on a warm toilet
There
seat?
was just an ass on the toilet seat.
And so you had that in your mind every time you use the bathroom.
No, the toilet seat's the worst thing in the world because it's two bads, right?
Yes.
Because you sit down and if it's cold, you go, oh God, oh, the cold toilet seat. If it's warm, you go, oh God, a warm toilet seat. Like there's no good temperature for it.
My ass just touched someone else's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly where you
Right. A little bit, at least. It's like when another guy, it's like when you, like kiss a woman and then like another guy kisses that woman.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we kind of just kissed, right? Like
Right,
that's, like,
And they also have buttons to like make noise
mhm.
so that, if you're making noise on your own, it covers up that
That's
noise. So
awesome.
yes.
All right, very cool. So, so that's the thing. So, the vast majority of public toilets, even in populous Beijing, are just holes in the ground.
Right.
Due to the rustic plumbing, tourists are often distressed by the smell in public bathrooms. Now, someone who's we know somebody who's visited China, Mistress of Destruction actually had, and it's probably, she said that it's probably the fact that the sewer system is not strong enough to support toilet paper that contributes
Right.
also to that smell. But there's just there's no experience like that.
Right.
And it's even worse if you're on a train, because on trains, they have squatty potties in China that are
They just go on the tracks.
yeah, it's just a hole in the train, right?
Well, you're fertilizing. You're helping fertilize the field.
Yeah. And, but anyhow, so I like the tagline for this one. This is the legit headline. It said, Jinping makes China's toilets a number 2 priority.
Nice. I like it.
So does this go in?
Well, it's about crap, but I don't think it's crap. So
Okay.
This goes.
There you go. International Toilet Day, right? World Toilet Day.
Yes.
All right. So we're running a little late. Do you want to hear this last one? Because I think I know why they're redoing their toilets.
Okay, let's go for it.
Okay. Huge blast in China, Ningbo City, traced to hole where toilet had been. Yeah. The force of the blast shattered windows and punched holes in the walls of buildings as far as a kilometer away.
Wow.
Firefighters have traced the blast to a hole in the ground where a toilet had been. The state broadcaster said it was, quote unquote, not a gas explosion, without elaborating any further.
Well, they don't have Taco Bell in Japan or in China, do they?
Yeah,
I mean,
CCTV said 2 people were killed while 2 others had been injured. Who were injured are in serious condition. 16 people have been admitted to the hospital for treatment. So
that's
I assume
amazing.
one of the dead people was one of the people on the toilet. I can only imagine what must have happened to that man's bowels.
That's amazing.
But we don't know. We don't know what happened, but this is why you have to redo the toilets. They're exploding.
Yes, you don't want that to happen. That would suck.
So I think that this is a great companion piece for the original.
Absolutely. This is definitely is part of my publication.
All right, there we go. So we have everything. Do you have an idea of what you're going to name this publication?
Crap, but not crap.
There you go.
There you go.
Because one of the street names could be Crap,
Exactly.
right? We could definitely have 2 crapper stories.
Absolutely.
What else did we have? What was the other one that we picked?
I don't know. I've slept since then.
You've slept. The sauce. Sauce isn't
sauce.
crap.
No, but
Well,
it
that's
makes
the not-
crap. It makes crap.
That's not the not crap part, right?
Well, it can make crap. I mean,
That's true. Yeah.
I'm going to. It's when you eat it,
You're
you turn
eating-
it into crap.
Everything related to crap.
Yes.
All right. That's your. I can't wait till this hits newsstands. Everything related to crap.
And it's printed on a brown paper bag.
that you can wipe with. All right, so that's it for the weather report. I didn't hit this button enough. I feel like I should hit that again. I don't know why.
It's a good button.
Yeah. So back to you, Shaggy. Back to you, William, Will, Bill. I feel like I should
That
say
guy.
all of those things. Every
Some
day.
people just say that guy.
That guy.
Well, I have doppelgangers.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Who are your doppelgangers?
I have been to other countries,
Yeah.
and people have come up to me and swear that they have like met me before, like foreign people.
What did they yell? Like Froggle Rock?
No, they'll start
Oh.
talk like try to talk to me, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw you at such and such a place, and we did this," and I'm like, "No," and this happens to both my wife and I all the time.
Really?
Oh yeah, like my wife even
That's
more.
fascinating.
And it's happened to both of us in various countries.
What you should respond with is, Do you still have that money you owe me?
Oh yeah. No, but it's weird when like, somebody comes up to you and starts talking into another language because they swear they know you.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And especially when we were in Germany, because everyone swears that my wife looks Dutch.
Okay.
And so they constantly, and they, and people who swear they, hung out with us.
Huh.
Yeah, they would swore they knew both of us. Yeah.
You have to find these intrepid travelers
Yeah.
who are going ahead of you everywhere.
Yeah. So I'm just that guy because I have many.
One of many.
Yes, I am one of many.
You're like, it's like, what is that show? It's a BBC show, like Black Orchid or something, where it's just a bunch of clones. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
They don't
Orphan
know-
Black.
Orphan Black. That's
It's a good
what it is.
show,
Yeah.
actually. We watch it.
You're Orphan Black.
Yes.
You don't know about all the others.
I
but
wish
they're
I
out
was
there.
that cool, actually.
So you said that you've been doing some voiceover work.
Yes.
We obviously tested out a few of the voices that you can do.
Yeah.
What do you do in this voiceover work?
Well, I do it through various different websites where people can get in contact with me and have me do voiceover for various different types of things.
Uh-huh.
Most of the time, I get like for YouTube type explainer videos. And,
Oh, okay.
And like sometimes some product videos. I've done some Kickstarter stuff. I've also done plenty of corporate internal type videos.
Interesting.
Like one of the last ones that I've done, I guess a few months ago, was it sounded like it was for an electric company in Armenia. Yes, in Armenia.
Nice.
That it sounded like they were not doing too well.
Oh no.
Because of poor customer service.
Okay.
So it sounded like almost like an apology to, I don't know if it was their customers or their shareholders, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I had to do this whole long spiel about how, they're going to make it better and all that. So I do stuff like that.
We will
too.
stop punching people.
Yeah, exactly. So it was weird. And the most difficult one I had recently, and it was a situation that didn't go very well.
Oh,
I
no.
actually had a faith healer
What?
in South Africa
Okay.
who wanted me to be like the narrator voice for his television show.
Okay.
And everything that I pronounced was wrong. And
Right, because it's all different language. That's
Oh, yeah.
very difficult.
And everything was wrong. And he kept coming back to me, wanting me to redo stuff over and over. And the guy was paying me nothing, hardly anything.
Sure.
But I have situations like that, but I get cool stuff too every once in a while. I have been a voice for a Bible animation.
What?
Yeah, I've been the voice.
Were you the camel?
No, I was some servant's son or some crap
Okay.
like that.
All right.
So I had to do a child.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Electricity, faith healer.
Oh
and
yeah,
Bible.
I've been the voice of an animatronic head for a comedian in Singapore.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah.
I was hoping for a Chuck E. Cheese. That's what I was hoping.
Nothing that cool.
No, all
Nothing
right.
that- I've done some stuff for video games. I've been a zombie.
You have.
I have been a zombie.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
What
What video game?
What
Do you
was
know?
that one for?
Can we play your voice?
Possibly. It is for a friend of mine, Dungeon Mans. I think I'm horrible for remembering the name of it because it's a type of game that
I need you to be professional and know this stuff.
My memory's terrible, but
You should have notes.
I've done stuff like that. But a little bit of everything. I've not really done anything that anything big.
But recently, you've been putting out an entire series about sound design, which is the other
Yes.
half of things you've been doing, and that's where you're saying you find interesting noises and sounds,
Well,
and different ways to make those. Right?
one thing that I try to teach people who are interested in designing sounds themselves, they think that, they need all this expensive stuff. And what I'm trying to teach people is that you can find sounds in relatively cheap crap.
Yeah.
You can go to the dollar store. And so, I bought a bunch of pizza pie tins from the dollar store.
Oh, okay.
And I made like gong sounds and stuff like that, things like that.
Interesting.
5-gallon buckets from, Lowe's. You can make all kind of drum sounds. Suitcases you can use for drum sounds. Just, all kinds of ordinary stuff. You know,
Right.
the thing, you know, the variety of sounds that you can get with them, and you know, you can make something unique that not everyone has. And
Right.
so I try to teach. I'm kind of into teaching people that there are things like that out there.
So if people wanted to get into sound design,
Right.
they could take a look at these videos. How
Yeah.
would they go and see those? Are those up at pureshift.com?
They're at pureshift.com, and I do have a YouTube channel as well under the Shaggy Freak.
Okay.
And they could see them there.
And
or
it
they
shows-
could look for the series is called Sound Design Bites. And if you do a search for that, you should be able to find them as
And
well.
it shows them not only some interesting ideas, but also I assume kind of mic placements and like how to capture that
and
sound.
you know, and what you could do with those sounds afterwards.
Mhm.
You know, so you could use them out. You know, because I've done some Foley type work too. One thing I've done recently is that I found that as far as sound libraries that are out there, there are not many that where someone has gone to an old pinball machine and just recorded the sounds from a pinball machine.
Really?
Yeah, there just really aren't that many out there. And since, a lot of people make pinball video games,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that could be, a product that some people might be interested in. So I found a dude locally who collects pinball machines.
Oh, cool.
And I've never met the guy before.
Yeah.
The guy literally invited me over into his house and just took the glass off the pinball machine and said, "Here, have fun," and left the room. And these are expensive machines,
Yeah.
collector's items, and
I would have left with a machine.
yeah. And this guy just and he's like, "All right, have fun."
Yeah.
And for an hour I sat there and
Played pinball.
and played pinball and recorded a bunch of whatever sounds that the machine made. And then once I got that done, I took it home, edited it down, and put it in such a way so that if somebody wanted to use it for an animation or a video game, that they could just easily take those sounds and put them in their project.
Yeah, that's
So I do
really
stuff
neat.
like that too.
Oh, all right. So a man of many talents we have. That's really interesting. That you're not only exploring that, but showing other people how they can also do it.
Right.
So with that said, we're going to explore something else. We're going to explore history for a little bit. What I want to do is take you through this week in history. What I've done is I've gone through the internet and found a good number of things that have happened this week in history. We're going to talk a little bit about them. And you are going to decide, with all your infinite wisdom, now that you are an editor-in-chief,
No, I have much.
what the most impactful thing is, using whatever criteria you'd like. So feel free to not necessarily go for the most memorable or the one everyone else would go for. So this week in history, this one's a pretty good one, I think. In 1895 was the first U.S. automobile race.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, did you know that? It ran from Chicago to Evanston, Illinois, and back, which was 54 miles or 87 kilometers.
That's impressive.
The race was initially postponed by police who would not allow them to drive their contraptions on city streets.
Well,
I mean, you have to think this is pre-1900s.
they weren't paved, and you had horses running around still.
Yeah.
So
It was won by Charles and Frank Duryea, Duryea, Durya,
sounds good to me.
Duryea, with
Good
an
street name.
average speed. Would you like to guess?
Average speed, 7 miles an hour.
Nailed it. That's actually it.
Wow.
It was 7 miles an hour, 11
good.
kilometers per hour, which means that's what, a third of what Usain Bolt runs, I think.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I could run that fast, and I could get my fat moving.
right. Well, here's the thing. So if you think of it as 7 miles per hour and it was 54 miles, I'm not sure the math on it, but that was a pretty long race.
Yeah, it's almost 8 hours.
Yeah. That was not like a short, we're just going to go around a track for a couple of hours and call a winner. That was
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it really is. So so that was our first automobile race ever in the United States. And we fast forward to 1929. Richard E. Byrd sends this note. It says, quote, "My calculations indicate we have reached the vicinity of South Pole." He was wrong.
No,
Nope, he didn't get there.
not quite.
Nope, that was very unfortunate, but he felt very good about his calculations, but needed to work on those.
Not quite. Not
Good
quite.
adventurer, bad mathematician, apparently.
Yeah, that's calculus is bad.
Yeah. So we move forward to 1948. The first Polaroid camera sold for $89.75 in Boston at the Jordan Marsh department store. The land camera model 95 becomes the prototype for all Polaroid land cameras for the next 15 years.
Well, hipsters would pay more than that now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What do you think was the first thing they took pictures of? It didn't say in the article.
Cats.
You think it was cats?
Yeah, that's what I would take a
That
picture
was the
of.
first Polaroid picture.
Someone took a picture of a cat.
I have a groundbreaking technological advancement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a picture of that cat.
Yeah, or your cat. People had cats then.
Yeah. And then they shared it.
Yes.
They're like, hey guys, I put this Polaroid on my wall.
Yeah, and it's like, their first Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think how long do you think it took for it to go dirty for Polaroids?
Pretty quickly.
Because that they thought, well,
Oh, yeah.
now I don't have to get this actually developed anywhere.
Pretty damn quickly. That was probably the second thing.
That was the
That was
second
probably
picture.
the second thing. First
was-
cats and then penises.
It was
Or boobs.
It was like, hey, look at this cat. You know what?
Boobs are next.
I'm gonna take a dick pic.
Yeah.
And that was the first time. And then inherently, that dude took a dick pic, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and sent it to some woman.
Wow.
Right?
That's how you get women.
That's because
That's
he
how
was
I
like,
got my wife. No,
he was
that's
like-
not true at all.
he's like, this is gonna be great. They're gonna love this. And then just timeless throughout time because they were still doing it, and we don't know why.
So that's who we blame.
Yeah. Whoever bought the first Polaroid camera was obviously the guy with the first dick pic.
So he was the first hipster.
Are hipsters dick pickers, picture takers?
Probably.
You think so?
Probably.
The thing that fascinates me is I don't understand the thought process behind it where don't get me wrong. If a woman were to be like, hey, Shaggy, could you send me a picture of your penis? Then I'd understand going well, maybe I should. She politely asked, or at least replying say please.
But women don't ask for that. Well, no, I don't think most women do.
But so that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
get that, right? If
Right.
if a woman says, could you please send me a junk pic? Then
Send me a picture of your Johnson.
yeah, then okay, right?
Yeah.
The ones that don't get me are the guys that are like, hey, how's it going? I'm going to introduce myself with my penis.
Yeah, it's like you might as well just, walk around, in nothing but a trench coat and just flash people.
It's the internet equivalent of that.
Really, exactly, yeah.
And I don't understand why it's oh, that seems fine. Why wouldn't I do that? Somewhere in their brain, they're like, that's cool. I'm sure chicks dig this. And all they hear from chicks are stop fucking doing this. It's really the same as the
bizarre.
cat callers, right? Because that doesn't work, right?
No.
In the history of the world, how many women have had a construction worker be like, dead ass, and been like, hey, thanks. What's your number? Can I hook up with you? Right? They've never turned around and been like, you seem like marriage material.
Well, in movies from the 40s, they make out that that's the way it was.
Right. But it never really, it hasn't happened at least in the last, 60 years.
Oh, absolutely not.
Right?
Yeah.
So why do we
Not
keep,
since the 60s, that's for sure.
why do we keep doing it? It's such a bad move.
Because we're all perverts in the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. That's absolute. Except the ladies, they're perfect.
Oh yeah, men are scum. We're scum.
We're just animals is the
Yes.
problem. But I never understood that.
We're just people with dick pics.
I like that somewhere in that guy's head, he's like, all right, the 100th time it's going to work.
Oh yeah, it's next time. Next time this one. Maybe if I take it from this angle.
Yeah. So anyhow, so we assume the first dick pic was also in 1948 then.
Was it an old man?
I don't know.
Was it a prune dick?
I assume that it was an old enough camera that it probably smoothed out the wrinkles, right? The lens couldn't be that nice. It's an old Polaroid. So it's you shake it. Did you have to shake it back then? I wonder.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
Was it-
everyone did. I don't know.
I think they said not to do it because it fucks it up, but then everybody did it anyway.
I have a Polaroid camera from the 60s. sitting
Do you?
at home. Yeah, I need to
Oh,
get
okay.
some film for it. It was my dad's.
Nice.
Yeah.
You should take a picture of a cat with it.
I probably will.
Yeah.
Next to dick.
And then your penis.
And then I'll burn it. No one wants to see that.
The camera.
No, no,
This
no.
camera
No.
is tainted because I took a picture of my
Yes.
taint with it.
No one wants to see that.
1960. The Beatles' Paul McCartney and then drummer Pete Best are arrested for arson. Did you know that?
Oh, wow.
He was an arsonist. They had lit a makeshift candle made from a condom, and that scorched a concrete wall while moving out of the living space provided to them by a club owner in Hamburg, Germany, where hamburgers come from.
Hamburg.
He had just terminated their contract and apparently was quite upset with the scorched concrete wall and called the police. And the police, I assume, saw a condom candle and were like, all right, fuck this. You're going to jail.
I'm impressed that they were able to make a candle out of a condom.
What
I
would
mean,
you-
how does that work?
I don't even know what you put in it. I mean, I guess you could put wax in it and then let it cool.
Maybe
but
earwax. I mean, maybe if you had enough.
I know. I'm not sure what you add to a condom to make a candle, unless that was the wick.
Maybe.
Maybe they made a candle.
Or maybe it was like one of those sheepskin ones where you just like tie it in a knot with a string. So maybe you're like,
Oh, maybe.
maybe.
I don't. Yeah, we're going to have to look into that, I think.
I have all this knowledge, I know these things.
Have you made one?
No, but maybe I will.
It gives a brand new meaning to Yankee Candle, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. Then you could sell them. That would be, Yankee Candle would probably get a little upset. Though.
Yankee Candle.
I think they'd get a little upset if you tried to do that.
Right. You could just do Naked Candle.
Naked.
So close. Can they
And then
see
take
you?
a picture of it with Polaroid.
We're the Polaroid.
Yes.
Put it on a cat.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we have an idea here that we should move forward with.
We're
there's
rich.
There's a Kickstarter begging us to,
Yes.
to make a campaign.
Yes.
All right, 1970, the Basse-Terre Guadeloupe. In Basse-Terre Guadeloupe. I probably didn't say any of that correct.
I don't know.
Basse-Terre.
Guadeloupe.
Basse-Terre Guadeloupe. So catch this. In 1 minute, they got 1.5 inches of rainfall.
That's awesome.
That is the heaviest rainfall ever on
Wow.
record.
It's like somebody just had a giant bucket of water and just turned it over.
But it was Guadalupe sized.
Yes. That's
Is that solid water at that point? I don't even know if there's is there space between the drops?
it's like, if you had a pool and you needed to fill it, that would be awesome.
Right. Yeah. It would be
It's like you wouldn't have to spend, you don't want to have to buy the water for it.
it's hard to put that in perspective. Now,
Oh yeah.
because in Houston recently, we had an incredible rainstorm that flooded all of Houston.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people in real trouble down there.
Yeah, a friend of mine's down, several friends of mine down there.
Yeah, and you should go donate money to them
Oh,
and
yeah,
do stuff
absolutely.
for them. Trust me, it's super important, and pray for them because nobody cares about that. So, but the U.S. record for 24 hours is 43 inches of rain. That was in Alvin, Texas, just south of Houston in 1979. So think about this, right? Houston, which just got obliterated by rain, didn't even make that list. It's not even the biggest.
Wow.
Alvin, Texas had more than that. And in a 24-hour period, that was 43 inches of rain, which would be approximately just shy. It's 3.5 to 4 feet of rain.
That's like with the
Right?
snow, with the snowmageddon. I forget how snow converts to rain.
I think you get more snow
yeah,
for rain.
yeah.
You get 3 inches of snow for every inch of rain or
Right,
something like
right.
that. Yeah. But so now we have to do the math, right? Because if you think about it, if in Guadalupe it had rained for an hour, which it didn't, it only we just recorded it for that minute, right?
Right.
If it had rained at that level for an hour, the current record is 43 inches. So for 24 hours, the current record is 43 inches in 24 hours for the U.S. at least. If in Guadalupe it had gone for 24 hours, they would have gotten 2,160 inches.
They would have been their own ocean.
Yeah, it would have been 180 feet of water.
They would no longer exist.
Yeah, that's how much water came down in 1 minute. It's
Wow.
at that rate.
Wow, that had to come down hard. I bet it hurt.
It probably. I wonder what happens when you start getting into that
That's
that
painful.
level.
I mean, yeah, I can't even fathom.
I can't fathom where it came from because that means at some point in time a cloud was holding all of that water and then at that moment was like, all at once.
Well, maybe the cloud like went to go see Lord of the Rings and like watched all 3 movies at once.
Right.
And then drank like, 5 liters of Coke.
And didn't want to leave the movie.
Did not want to leave the movie.
Right.
Because it had never seen it before. And then that could have possibly happened.
Do you think it was one of those moments where like somebody like, put the cherry on top of it and everything collapsed? Like it was just one extra molecule of water just went
one too much. And then it all came down. Ugh.
That's insane. So yeah, that happened in 1970. And then in the year 3978, astronauts land on a mysterious planet ruled by apes, according to the calendar on their spaceship, as per the 1968 movie.
3978 hasn't happened yet.
Right. It's in history in the future.
But how do we know? I mean, there's
an entire documentary about it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there was a movie that came out.
How did I not know about this?
In 1968 called Planet of the Apes about it's a documentary.
Damn dirty apes.
A documentary about what happened like 1,000, 2,000 years from now.
Charlton Heston.
you can have my gun when these apes pry it from my cold dead hands. All right, so
I just walk around my house going, "Damn dirty apes!"
Right?
That's all I know.
I'm sure your wife really appreciates that. She's like, "Stop calling me an ape."
I'm talking to cats,
taking pictures of them. Damn dirty apes! All right, so what is the most historically important thing that happened? Do you need a rundown? We've got an automobile race. We have a guy who didn't find the South Pole. We have the Polaroid camera. The Beatles are arsonists. A lot of water from the sky and the future.
Dick Candle.
Dick Candle.
Dick Candle.
You're going with Yankee Candle?
Yes. Yeah, that's Dick Candle, yes.
All right, there you go. So the most important thing...
Because it fits with my newspaper.
So what you're saying... So it's going to go in the...
Crap and dicks.
Crap and dicks. So what you're going to publish is not so much that Paul McCartney and Pete Best were arrested for arson as much as they invented a candle made out of a condom.
Yes, that's the important part.
That's the historical bit.
That's awesome. That's the best thing I've heard this week.
There you
Because
go.
I want to try it now. I want to find out.
What you should do is make a video series about it.
Ooh, I could do that.
And then record the sounds from it.
And then have a Kickstarter.
There was the one Kickstarter of how to make, making macaroni and cheese. Did you ever see that one?
No.
A guy did a Kickstarter that he was going to make mac and cheese. And basically it was like, if you did this much, you got like a video of him doing it. And if you did like this much, you got to choose one of the ingredients. And like, there were all these things. And he made like thousands of dollars to make mac and cheese.
I would like to choose one of the ingredients. I would make it something terrible.
like a dick candle.
Yeah, like a dick candle or lots of MSG.
All right, so excellent. So you've decided dick candles make history. And that brings us back to the very sobering reality. We have to talk to you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
I'm boring.
Oh, it's so terrible. So I'm going to ask for 2 stories from you. We don't have a ton of time because we've had too much fun. This is a segment called Near and Far.
Near. Go far again. Far. See, that's what it's all about. You understand?
You understand? So we're going to start with a story from near, something that happened maybe close to home.
Close to home.
Yeah, that relates to what you do as an artist and or cats or dick candles. Really, it doesn't matter all that much.
Wow.
Just your life is more. All right, you want to start away? Let's start away.
Let's start away.
Away.
Okay.
What do you have for me with away?
Okay, like anytime that we go on trips and stuff,
Yeah.
especially the past couple of years, I bring a portable recorder with me.
Right.
And my wife is amused to no end of, things that I will record.
Okay.
So this was actually the last trip we were at Disney World.
Okay.
And it's, we're at the hotel in the morning and I find, that they have, the typical kind of, hotel wall safe that a lot of have that you could store your valuables in. So I'm opening and closing the safe and I'm like, that is the coolest sound I've heard, in days.
Yeah.
So I sat there for like the next couple of minutes going, and that's that time my wife, I think she was taking a shower or getting dressed. She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, this is cool. And so that's what I do. I mean, anytime I hear something that, and I could be, as long as I have my recorder with me or something with me,
Yeah.
I will record it because I love cool sounds. And I've been doing that since I was a kid, recording stuff with a tape recorder and playing it back because it sounds cooler when you play it back.
Yeah. What is, how large is your library of sounds that you've like kept? Obviously you erase a bunch of them, I assume, because you go like, well, that wasn't as great as I thought it was.
It's hard. I don't actually know the count now, but I've especially over the past several years, anytime I buy something or take something apart, or I go to dollar store or Lowe's,
Sure.
I often come home, with some random thing that I don't really need, but I know that I can make a sound with it. I mean, today okay, something from home.
Yeah, here we go. So we're going near now.
So when we moved into this house, there was a drawer that looked like it belonged in our kitchen that somehow never got installed. It looked like it was like extra.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
how that happens and why it was still there, but so I've been slowly over time attaching things to it to make sounds with.
Okay.
So I've screwed like, eye hooks into it, attached springs to it. And today,
Does it slide in and out? Like
no, it doesn't slide in and out. It's basically just kind of like a box for
It's a
me
box.
now. It's like
so you're putting the spring like on both sides of the box and like stretching it?
Right
or?
now I've got like in the center, there is a circle of metal with some hooks on it. And I've attached springs to that and then some eye hooks that are connected to the sides of the drawer.
Okay, yeah.
So it's almost kind of looks like a spider.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Basically I've built like a spring reverb into it.
Yeah.
And then today I attached some knitting needles to it. And so I clamp these knitting needles into it so they're sticking out of it. And if, you strike them, they make various tones. And I've got like a cello bow that I'll bow it and it'll make all kinds of eerie, creepy sounds. But this is a typical kind of stuff that I do. And I probably spent 3 hours today just like figuring out how I wanted to put these knitting needles, connect it to this thing, and then how I was going to make sound with it. And it took me like 3 hours to like be satisfied
With what came out of it.
with what came out of it. And probably this week I'm actually going to look at recording it and then doing a video about it and doing my next sound design video of basically showing that you can take cheap innocuous objects and build something
like a crazy professor.
yeah
You're like, I'm just gonna invent things.
Yeah.
I put a chair on top of a table.
and throw it out but throw it at a wall and see if it sticks, and sometimes you make some cool sounds and sometimes it sounds like crap, and
It's amazing.
most of the times it sounds like crap, but
Right. Don't throw the cats against the wall. And see if
no
they stick.
I have recorded my cats though,
That make a
and
great
my
noise.
cat's toys.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we have a thing that the ball spins around, and I've actually used that in a play.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So
For-
if people want to see these videos that you're making,
Yes.
like for instance, you're going to have, you said maybe a new one with these knitting needles.
Right.
They can go up to www.pureshift.com.
Right.
And then you have videos about a bunch of different things. you've
Right.
done
Or
with
they can go to
knitting.
YouTube and just do a search for the Shaggy Freak, and they should be able to find these videos and some other stuff that I've done. And
Now, you didn't answer my question about the number of sounds. Do you have like a terabyte worth of these? Do you have, can you give me like an estimate on that size?
well, because it all kind of gets glumped in with like libraries of sounds that I've gotten from other people.
Okay.
So
okay.
all in all, between all those things, I mean, I have probably, I probably have a couple terabytes of sounds.
Really?
sitting. I mean, not just of my stuff, but other
Yeah, but-
people's stuff. I've got a lot of stuff.
In general, that's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
It's hard to like keep things organized.
Do you have people ever come to you and just say like, do you have just a sound for like a VW bug or something? And you're like, yeah, hold on.
If, and if people ask me for a sound, I'll see if I have it.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I'll try to do it, or I'll try to figure out a way to do it. And, because that's the fun part, is the adventure of going out and figuring out, where I'm, like with that pinball machine.
Yeah. Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us
Yes.
today. I hope you had a good time.
Absolutely.
Good. We enjoyed having you. So everybody, thank you for listening. Coming up this week, Thursday, December 7th, Box Era is at Milk Boy Art House, which is in College Park, Maryland. Saturday, December 9th, Seth Keibel is at Glen Echo Spanish Ballroom in Glen Echo, Maryland. That's like an old amusement park kind of thing that was there. Sunday, December 10th, Face Dancer, one of our favorites, crazy folks over there, are at UAW Local 239 up in Baltimore, Maryland. Please like our posts, follow us, retweet us, share us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We cannot do this without you. Don't forget to review us on Facebook, iTunes, and Google Play. Shout out to Satya for giving us a 5-star review on Facebook. Awesome. Yeah. Also, thanks to Kevin Evinger, McNally22, Justin Rogers, Figmental Records, Alchemical Records, and Engineer Adam for all their contributions. Most of all, thanks to Shaggy for wasting a perfectly good hour with us. This has been another wasted hour. And if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.